Alright guys, welcome back. We have another question from the first chapter of Mechanics of Materials by Hibbeler, and we have question 11. We know the force F is 80 pounds and acting on the gear tooth. We need to determine the resultant internal loadings on the root of the tooth, which would be the centroid at point A of the section AA that we see in the figure, and we have a hint at the end of the question that we can use the equations of equilibrium. So as always, we're going to start with the free body diagram. I try to show the free body diagram of the tooth in here, and basically we have one single force, 80 pounds, that is applying on the tooth. We know that angle makes 30 degrees, so I show that on my free body diagram, and we have some information that this line for the section AA makes 45 degrees with horizontal, and yeah, so we have that angle here too. What we need to do in here is that we're going to use our equilibrium equations, and we know we have three equations: sum of all forces in x equals 0, same for the y, and we have one moment equations. And what we are trying to find out is the internal loadings at point A, and what that would be is we need one normal force, we need one shear force, and we need one bending moment. So we have three equations, three unknowns, and we should be able to find all the unknowns in here. So let's just show those these three loadings that the question is asking. So far I only showed the 80 pounds that is applying to the tooth. So we can consider one shear force VA, one normal force, we can call it NA, and we're going to consider positive bending moment for now, MA. So these are our three internal loadings, and rest of this we just have to break things down in x and y direction. You don't have x and y in this question, so we need to show the x and y ourselves, and I picked these two as our x and y axes, and now we need to resolve our force into x and y components. So obviously, because the angle that x makes with horizontal is 45 degrees, if we try to draw one line parallel here, the whole angle here is also 45 degrees. And the two components that we are looking for in here to resolve our force in x and y, this will be the x component and this will be the y component. So if that's the case, we know this angle would be 45 minus 30, or 15 degrees, and that's pretty much all we need for resolving this force. That 15 degrees angle is going to help us to resolve the force in x and y direction. So let's start with our fx. Sum of all forces in x equals 0, and looking at this, we have our shear force, which we called it VA. We have the x component of the 80 pounds. First of all, it's negative because it's acting on the opposite direction of x, so 80 cosine of 15 degrees, and that's pretty much everything for x component. So our VA would be 80 cosine of 15, and yeah, that's gonna give us 77.3 pounds, and we did not get any negative answer. That shows that's the correct answer for our shear force. Next one, sum of all forces in y equals 0. We're gonna have our normal force NA, and we have the y component of the 80 pounds. We can see it's negative because it's acting along the opposite direction of y. So negative 80, this will be sine of 15 degrees. This will be equal to 0, and A, this time we have 80 sine of 15. That's going to be 20.7. Again, no negative sign in here. That shows our assumption for NA is also correct. And the last one, sum of all moments about point A equals 0. Remember that we have a sign convention for the moment. So we have our MA, which is the bending moment that we are looking for, and we assume that it's counterclockwise, so we'll see what happens. And we have the moment of x and y component of this force. So if we look at the question for finding the moment, we need these two distances. So looking at the question for the distance of here, as we can see, the question is giving us the distance 0.23 inch. And for the bottom one, this is the distance that we are looking for. It's 0.16 inch. So we have all the distances too. We just have to figure out which one makes clockwise moment and which one makes counterclockwise moment. So let's start with the x component. We can see about A, the x component is going to be counterclockwise, so it's positive. So x was 18 cosine of 15 degrees. That's our force, and moment would be force times the distance, and our distance would be for the x component 0.23. So that's for the x component, and for the y component we can see that the y component is going to be clockwise, so it will be negative 18 sine of 15 was the force, and the distance is 0.16 that we wrote in there. So this will be equal to 0. So our MA would be 80 cosine of 15 times 0.23. Actually, this will be on the other side of the equation, so it will be negative plus 80 sine of 15 times 0.16. And yeah, our MA would be negative 14.5 pound inch. And the negative sign in here shows that the direction that we assumed for the MA is not correct, and it's actually clockwise because it's negative. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for this question. Hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.